Jeff and I have spoken about, you know, the PR manager position versus this part-time position. What might that look like? And I think a lot of that comes, and Jeff, I don't want to speak out of turn, but a lot of that comes with the future of conservation and the growth that will likely be coming, that we might need something for that. And so that really is all working together, though, I think is so very important.
So I think, Brian, your train of thought here, I think, is the right train of thought. How do we increase our efficiencies with this?
Yes.
And if we've got a full-time person with the county who can handle this stuff, I think that's great. I would ask everybody to bear in mind that with this community outreach coordinator and talking with Kylie Jaycott, she feels that, a full part-time position, that sounds odd to say.
Yeah.
We will need 20 to 25 hours per week from someone to accomplish what we want to get done. So if we can find that efficiency internally with the county, with this new PR person, I don't know how likely that's going to be to get that done. But Jana did make a point with what we have going on, overworking Kylie at this point.
Mhm.
And then with what's coming up on the horizon as well.
Right.
That planning to be able to just expand conservation's capacity alone will be important, whether that's with a person with the county or internally with the.
And Jeff, I really just wanted to bring this up
Yeah.
and get people thinking.
Yeah,
about it.
it's the
Just
right.
Putting
it's
it
the
out
right
there.
idea.
And I do feel that between public health and conservation, them are the two biggest things in our county that need PR.
Craig's position's been reposted, is that correct?
Yes,
Is there any interest at
yeah, we have 23 applicants.
23?
Yeah, we have 23, 5 that I'll be pushing through to the first interview phase.
So in our packets, and I see 3 green boxes up there. You handed out job descriptions for us. One is park officer and training coordinator.
That's correct.
So we're looking at addition of 3 positions, not 4.
These would be actually, on the agenda, I noticed that there was a typo on that. It should be park officer and training coordinator as one position.
Okay,
I noticed that too, no comma there.
That's correct.
It should be and or a hyphen or something.
so there's 3 positions.
Yeah, that's correct.
And there are 3 positions that are changing.
Yeah, these would not be new people. These would just be updated job descriptions.
Are they new job descriptions?
They are new job descriptions. They are based on 2 of them, the operations supervisor and the park officer were largely based on the operations supervisor position that existed up until 2018, maybe 2020. The park officer position is the same for most with some additions, and those red lines are available. The strike throughs are available in the documents.
When you come up with the, are we just talking about job descriptions right now? We're not going anywhere else past that? Is that what we're doing? Susan,
Yes.
did you compare your job descriptions with any other county in the state?
So, yes, we did actually. The operations supervisor and the park officer, those have been, based on, positions within the state largely for quite some time. The community outreach manager was based on what Polk County is doing. They're taking on, projects of similar scope and size as what Potawatomi Conservation is taking on. And so I started there with what they were doing with their department. And this is the format that they're utilizing.
What is, when you take a look at the, I'm sorry, Susan, can I go?
Yes, please.
When you take a look at the, operations supervisor, that's one of them, right?
That is correct.
All right, what's the step and grade for that?
Good to that. You
Doesn't
have that,
say.
Andy, I'll jump in.
It's a 534.
What is a 534?
And Heather's can pull it up.
534 second one, correct?
Is what?
4322.
How much?
4322,
That's starting.
that is starting.
When you said that you compared these job descriptions with other counties, you only mentioned Polk. What's this position pay in Polk?
As far as the community outreach goes,
No, we're talking about the operations supervisor.
So the operations supervisor was based on the previous operations supervisor description that we had here, which was based on other counties' operations supervisors. That particular pay grade I did not review here. That was a discussion with Jana and I had internally about the new addition of a number of new direct reports, additional responsibilities, and what was based on the operations supervisor position and the deputy director position prior to that.
So you didn't put a pay grade on it.
There is a pay grade on that as well.
Where is it?
On the job description? Or,
Yes.
The employee payroll staff.
Yeah, the job description, we do need to put it in the new format, which will have it on there. But it is on Jeff's, document, you gave them this. It is on this one as well, but it is a pay grade 534 for the operations supervisor. And we will put these in the new format, just for the sake of time, we didn't have the opportunity to do that for today.
So step one is 4322.
Correct.
Why are we at 44th?
That includes longevity.
Okay. So then you didn't put step and grade in any of these.
on all the job descriptions, no. I guess I was not aware of the new format and where that would
We
fit,
haven't got it
so-
to your department yet.
Okay.
Yeah, and we didn't have the opportunity time-wise to get that done for today.
Okay, so did you talk to anybody or get any other job descriptions for the second one, the community outreach manager?
That was the Polk County reference.
Okay.
There.
And that is
How
pay
about-
grade 520?
How about pay comparison with anybody else across the county, this day? Did you do that?
With Polk County, they were significantly higher with their,
Did you only look at Polk County?
that was the only one that had something similar like this.
And then park officer, training coordinator, we don't have that job description currently.
We do not have.
What's
that
the step and grade on that, Jeff?
That is 523. Step 10.
How much is that?
3703.
Thank you.
So when you're making all these, when you're making all these changes, Jeff, I take it that you don't have a plan to hire a deputy director.
At this time, no, no plan to do that. It's the additional duties that I've taken on as director, plus the duties I brought with me as deputy director. And I'm going to disseminate some of those out to these three individuals to reduce my workload. In addition to just sitting in my position for a year before requesting an increase in budget for additional staff. Making sure that I've got,
Can you say that again?
I'd like to sit with my position for a year for requesting additional budget for staff.
You want to sit in your position for a year before making a decision if you want any more staff,
Correct.
but you don't want to sit in your position for a year to make these changes.
Correct. That's right. I think we've got the opportunity and the perspective that I have right now is with the duties that I have currently that I've taken on, that I know I've taken on this past summer and fall, in addition to the duties I brought with me, I can see that there's an immediate need right now, in addition to what is on the horizon for us as well.
Okay, so if I take, Mark's previous salary, I believe it was 108. Is that where I'm at?
111,
111. And yours is 119, right?
correct.
Okay. I don't know, maybe I'm getting ahead of you, Susan.
Keep rolling.
Okay. I want some justification in this thing here.
Sure.
So when Mark left, we paid for about 6 months of his salary, right?
2 months of his salary and benefits.
Well, didn't he have, vacation time and sick leave and all
There
that
was
stuff
a-
we paid
There
out?
was additional payout that went as well. That's correct.
Tim, just interrupted, did he not have some of that in his budget?
I don't know.
Okay,
I'm gonna get to that.
okay, I'm sorry, and I just wanted to ask.
So, you're only looking at, the way I see it, about a $30,000 increase, right?
How'd you get there?
Well, isn't, Chad's about 15 grand?
The increase would be,
All right, how about Kelsey or Kate or Kylie, about 10? How about Ryan, about 5?
there you go.
That's 30.
That is 30.
Okay. So there's plenty of money in this year's budget
Mhm.
for that.
Yes.
Okay. So next year, we will still be able to reduce the budget. Because those 3 increases of 130, I'm sorry, of 30,000,
Sure.
we're knocking off your salary as a deputy director of what? What were you?
Total compensation package, 143,935.
No. Salary. What was your salary as, deputy director?
That would have been, let me go check that.
Two,
Would have been in the mid
I was
nineties.
gonna say that.
92.
Yeah.
So it sticks in my brain.
92.
Just, I think with,
Or-
I think it was closer to 90. Okay, we'll go with 92. So you're gonna eat up 30 of that for next year. So we'll be able to lower your budget 62 grand because you won't be using the deputy director money, right?
So the addition in January, I'd like to discuss the addition of the 2 part-time positions and somebody else, another full-time position, to use up the remainder of that so that we can support the people underneath. Again, we've lost a director in this. We've lost capacity to do work. And we need to replace that somehow. I'd like to do that with 2 additional part-time and 1 full-time person.
What's the salary of the pay of your part-time people? Hopefully you tell me it's 62 grand.
And you got this sheet.
So
The
we,
2 part.
yeah, the new part-time maintenance, which Jeff said he'll be discussing in January at 30,000, roughly 30,000. And then new, part-time social media, roughly 32,000.
So they're gonna work, over 28 hours a week, right?
They'd be 25 hours a week. That's what we're budgeting.
I thought it was 28 for IPers.
I'm not, IBRS, it doesn't go by weekly, it goes by quarters and the dollar amount that you earn in those quarters. So they could meet the IBRS. I'm wondering if
Because then there should be a question mark that they may not also meet.
they, correct, they may not also
He's
meet
got it
IBRS.
included in here.
Sure, just to give you the highest dollar amounts.
Correct.
And I wonder, Scott, if you might be thinking of, health insurance, which that would be an average of 30 hours a week, which we're not including in that.
No, I understand, but IPers is, you said it's how many, 28, you think?
It goes by the quarter and how many,
$1,000.
It's just quarter. You got paid in
Yeah.
a quarter.
yeah, it just goes by the quarter. It doesn't go by hours. It's how much dollars you make in that quarter.
Which
So-
is what? What are those thresholds? I don't ever see that
I-
on my IPers stuff.
$1,000.
I think it's 1,000.
I don't
Three
think it's
consecutive
that.
quarters.
What?
So you gotta earn 1,000 before you get into it.
Once you earn
I
1,000, 2
qualified for
consecutive
the mayor.
quarters, it triggers IFRS
$200
200. If you work in that
quarter.
third, then you. So that's why I was.
So it was good you put that in.
Yeah,
Might be,
Correct.
might be if
Because
it's
it's-
elected employee.
it's likely.
It is likely.
It's likely.
Okay, so you've conveniently spent exactly what the difference is in those 2 positions. However, when you look at these, available offsetting funds,
Mhm.
what's this donation to support the NRT position?
That is a private donation to support the position.
So are you gonna use that money to fund it?
Yes.
Do you need that money to fund it?
Without increasing our budget, yes.
Not the way I see it.
So
Because you got 62 left of yours. When, with those two part-time people, that's 62.
So the additional money that you're talking about with the 30 and 32 to get to 62, that includes the IPERS and the FICA costs. So I think the numbers here, we're maybe talking about just salaries with you. I've included total costs here. That's why the total cost for the deputy director position moving forward is the 133,935. That includes IPERS, FICA, and insurance costs that could be distributed as that budget would be reduced with the loss of Mark Shoemaker and the opening up of the deputy director position.
But we haven't talked about one yet, which is the one that would be funded. So you're talking about the 62,000.
No, that's taking those two, that's paying for those two positions.
Yes, you're correct, but then there's one right underneath that.
That's I'm getting there.
Okay,
So, no, we're not hiring this person
Not right now. Not asking for that right now.
because we don't have any money.
The way that I'm seeing this with the 143,935 total compensation package for the deputy director. That's the money that's available between insurance, FICAs, IPA, and IPERS, FICA, and salary. And then we'd have a donation to support 50,000, which would get you to the 193,000 total available funds. So there would be money available for this with the total compensation package. And how that's distributed among IPERS and FICA and insurance through the other positions.
What's the donation? How long is that?
That is a 3-year commitment
Okay, so this is a 3-year job.
with the potential to extend it with additional donations.
Otherwise, it goes away.
At that point, we would like to discuss permanence of that position with the board and Conservation Board absorbing that.
Well, what I'm
Right.
getting at, Jeff, here is that
Yes.
we already know we're gonna have to dump 8 cents off the levy. We already know our insurance is going up 400,000.
Right.
We already know that our jail could possibly want more people. The state has told us how much we can spend and how much we can't. We can't afford to add new employees. Where's the revenue that's gonna generate to support that?
So it's a good question. I don't have a crystal ball to come up with that just yet. What I do know is that our department we are taking on more and more every year. We've got big projects on the horizon. We need to manage those properly. This is a way to do that, at least for the next 3 years, in a way that actually reduces the budget.
Just so you're assuming every year's the same then.
Well, I'm assuming that the increases would be standard across the board and we would accept those increases as they would come for every other department.
And you're assuming your revenue's gonna stay the same.
I'm assuming there will be slight increases in revenue as well. But as far as that 50,000 goes, if that's what you're referencing.
No, I'm just, in general, when you run a business, which this is almost like a business, you're making some assumptions that, I wouldn't probably make sometimes,
Okay.
And then you said, if I understood, or someone said 92,000 was what the, projected deputy director position would get paid, or am I missing something?
No, that's what his salary
I think it'd be projected a little higher than that if you put the lowest increase our department received this past year at 5%.
Okay, so how did we come up with 143 out of, even if you take, and he gets 98,000, how do you get 143 out of 98,000 in benefits?
With the IPERS
Yeah,
costs, the FICA costs.
they're
and the
not
cost-
50 grand of the salary.
And insurance.
They're not
costs.
50 grand of the salary.
family health insurance probably would be at least 25,000.
Yeah, but it's not 50 grand of the salary.
And then the
Our
IPERS,
benefits, if we're paying somebody 100,000 and then we're paying 50,000 for benefits, that's news to me.
We're not.
That's news to me.
How much?
Now, was that what you're thinking?
No, I'm not saying it's
No, but
$50,000.
So what number are you thinking?
Well,
$100,000, you get paid, how much is benefits?
I could say health benefits is probably about 25.
All
No,
benefits.
no benefits?
No, all benefits.
Oh, I'd have to look at the FICA and all of that. I can't
Yeah,
pull
but
that off the top
I
of my
I
head.
can give you a pretty close number on it.
if it's 25,000 for the health insurance, and then we have to spend 11% on just FICA by itself, so there's another 11,000. So there you're at 36,000 already, and then
So that doesn't.
whatever. Dental, stuff, hyper, they already counted. I mean, you're probably close to 40 pretty easily on a $100,000 employee.
Wow.
Well,
Something's gonna happen with healthcare, you can see that.
I don't know. If making these changes is gonna guarantee that we're gonna have to hire another employee, I'm not ready to make the changes. I don't know how we afford another one.
That's 3 years down the road too. I mean, we can say that with any department in this county.
He's talking about coming back to us in January.
Well, that's correct. I'd like to have further discussions on that full-time
Not
position.
3 years down the road, January.
But the position would be funded per the table laid out, the colorful table there, would be funded for 3 years. And we'd be sitting at budget savings for the next 3 years. And so, yes, there'd be discussion in 3 years. That's correct.
Depending on what insurance rates do.
And this is budgeted for a family insurance rate. This person that might fill that position could be a single as well. Could reduce it. This was a worst case scenario.
I don't see any budget savings here at all, Jeff. I'm not following you.
I'm not ready to go on it. I told you that already, so
Yeah.
I might be ready to get in the future, but today I'm not ready to go for it.
Good.
We got a lot of things moving out there that aren't being certified yet, what's gonna happen with them.
Well, and this deals with our existing structure, just in self-facing board. Does anybody else
You
have?
knew when you took the job what you were up to,
Sure,
so
sure.
you haven't even done it more than 90 days hardly, so I can't really support you yet on that.
You need more time from me to be able to
Oh, yeah,
determine
yeah,
what needs to happen, what does not.
yeah. I need that chart too.
That's fine. But with the loss of a full-time person,
You lost the full-time person.
correct.
You decided on that.
Well, I'm
Now you want to change it to 3 people for 1 person.
I'm redistributing the workload between,
Well, why don't I just get
More
1 person to do that workload?
because the
That
additional,
you're putting out to 3 people.
sure. I think it's appropriate planning for the future here.
I'm not
Okay.
buying it
You're
yet.
not buying that yet. Understood.
Okay,
Does anybody else have questions on the cost savings in that? I feel like the chart laid that out fairly simply.
$5,000?
Yes,
Good break.
Yeah.
The budget's what?
I
it's a
don't,
lot. It's a small cost savings. It's
I
just
don't-
that we're operating at a budget savings with this.
Budget neutral.
Okay, it's fine. I'm fine with that as well.
Lucky.
Yeah, because that doesn't take into consideration the annual increases for these 3.
Don't you have to buy them uniforms and all kinds of good stuff? Buy a vehicle?
Training.
There would be some additional costs. Most of that would come from local option taxes we planted. And the increases, to address your comment, Susan, would be there regardless across the board with this number, whether we had a new person or not. The increases would carry with year after year anyway. This is just redistributing how those increases are assigned.
and spending more.
How so?
Well, you're adding 30,000. So what Susan's talking about, annual increases. You know, here's the thing. I don't have, I know all of these people that you're looking at. I don't have any issues with you taking a look at your operation and making some changes. However, knowing that you're gonna come back here and ask for another position, I can't support you. And you know, you can laugh and smirk if you want to. I'm serious, Jeff. We don't have the money.
And that I understand, Tim. And I'm
But
prepared.
you're not
to
getting it.
Yep, I am. I think I am. I'm prepared to not. it's a discussion that I would like to at least say, we can have it in a year or so, if, that we can continue the discussion at that point. Not saying that there will be a request.
Jim, are you talking this new natural resource technician
Well, then,
on this sheet? The 88,000, is
Yep.
that what you're talking
Yep.
about?
I'm talking about that. And do we really need a part-time outreach person? You know, it's just everything. It's too much.
How much is nice to have and how much is needs to have?
You know,
I feel that, go ahead.
I really think that if that's the direction you're gonna go, you need to make it work and don't come back to us and ask for any more people. I really firmly believe that Kylie is a wonderful person and doing one hell of a job. And if you increase that, some of the, responsibilities for her, she's due a raise. I think that, Chad Gravy, spectacular person.
Can't pay him enough.
That's right. And, if you're gonna have him assist with some of the park operations and do that kind of thing, absolutely, you couldn't have a better person. Don't have any issues with that.
Sure.
Ryan Penny, wonderful guy. Probably, I mean, he's probably gonna hear this, but he's probably underutilized, in my opinion. That's how good he is. I think he could do I can think he has the potential to do, an awful lot more if we'd let him, if we give him those responsibilities. So,
His job description changes include those.
so I don't have any issues with any of that. It's your department. You need to run it. Don't come back to us for more people. This is a decision that you're making, that you think you can make it work, make it work.
And when you say don't come back for more people, are you talking about the potential for the January discussion of the 2 part-timers and the 1 full-time as well? Yes. Because if we're gonna give Chad Gravy and Kylie additional responsibilities, they currently have a 40-plus hour a week workload. To put more on them and then not support them in some of the tasks that they will have to leave behind hurts what we're doing. The part-time positions seem like an incredibly economic way to provide support from underneath so that they can focus on the higher level tasks, allowing some of the lower level tasks to fall to these part-time positions. That's the reason for them, is to support those people directly.
Okay, tell me in there, where it says that, the natural resource technician, the NRT, is part-time.
That would not be a
Okay,
part-time.
there you go.
Okay. So the pushback is on the 1 full-time? I just want to understand where I need to work this again.
I think I know you fairly well, and I know these positions are gonna come back. And, I wanna be able to tell you no before you get there. Um, you know, we have some departments, I don't even know where they're gonna go. We're doing a study at the jail. We have $1 million worth of overtime there. Doesn't seem to be getting any better. Hiring more people, is that the answer? Don't know yet. I just know with the way the state has set us up, we can't raise the levy. So you have one opportunity to pay for this position, and that's by increasing your revenue. And you're gonna have to do it in your parks. And all it takes is a situation like we had this year, where the bridge was down at Arrowhead, and it cost the Arrowhead, I don't even know how much yet, do you?
I don't know how much that costs.
But that did cost us a substantial amount of money, and we lost a lot of people from camping fees and that kind of stuff.
Sure.
Oh, we had a bridge closed at Hancock too.
Yeah,
Right, for a little while.
so I just, if this is the way you want to move forward, as I mentioned, I don't have any trouble with those 3 people at all.
It ain't about the people.
No, it's not. We don't have the money for anything else, so you're gonna have to make it work.
I feel bringing those 3 up like that will help lighten the load. I do agree with that those three are essential. And I like that, bringing them along.
Well, we're increasing the pay of 3 people by 30 grand and hiring a new one at the same time.
Or
What do you think the rest of the morale of the employees will be?
And this-
Yahoo, Yahoo.
But if they're increasing their responsibilities and moving to management, or supervisor,
What do you think, that none of those other people want to do that?
well, sure they do, but I don't think they're as capable as these.
Don't think?
I don't think.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I have to leave in 2 minutes. But I just for thought, I mean, sometimes I feel like we're talking about the chicken or the egg, right? For growth, sometimes we have to make these decisions and then growth will come. And sometimes we need to see the growth and then make the decisions, right? And depending on the business line or what have you, but I'm just thinking, how or what information can be given to Jeff for his strategic planning, which a lot of this is. He's talking about 3 years worth of planning to strategically move the business along as well. So I think Jeff maybe alluded this to as well. What information or what direction could he have to help with this?
Jana,
Which was in place before he became director.
A lot of these things, right,
Yes.
and I obviously I don't sit in his board meetings, but I would assume that his board and Mark had already talked about a lot of these
Yes.
things, because conservation, similar to roads, usually looks 5 years down the road. Our secondary roads department does that a lot too. Yes, Jeff?
Well, I'm gonna say that I'm all for financial neutrality at this point. I mean, whatever you can do to make your budget work and benefit your people. You take a hit in these places, but we just don't know at this point. We don't know revenue,
Yeah.
tax revenue.
Yeah.
What we're gonna be facing in January. What's the state legislature's going to do? They're gonna be here at some point, and I've got a lot of questions. A lot of questions. So, this is where we're at.
So much unknown.
We're facing unknowns.
Okay.
And so we can't give known answers because of the unknowns at this point. That's me. So,
Understood.
I certainly agree with Tim that, whatever's budget neutral, do, by all means, do. But as far as, looking for more, more of a budget increase, at this point, I'm not there either.
Where do we see an insurance?
Tagging Heather in. Yeah. Heather
Hey, are
tagged
you
in.
going to the health thing this year?
Yes, I haven't gotten an email about when it is yet.
Oh, yeah. You didn't?
Did you?
Yeah,
Will you forward it to me?
yeah.
It's February sometime though,
Yeah.
right? But yeah,
I'll send it to you hopefully later today.
Okay, and I'm tagging Heather in, so she's taking over.
Okay. So you're taking her, you said? Oh.
Tagging her.
She should probably go to that.
I was thinking about taking Heather this year.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, how do you feel about those three, the 15, 10, and 5?
The increases for the operations supervisor, community outreach, ranger and training coordinator.
I feel those are essential. I truly do. I watched the ski hills the last 2 years, and you guys did too. You've watched it be put together, and there was a lot of work there. And Mark will even tell you he had very little to do with that.
I'd say he had a lot to do with it.
Mhm.
He was in here wanting it, so.
I know, he was, but I mean, putting it together operational wise and stuff. And I think there's a lot of work there.
So you're saying
to
Mark
be
wasn't
done.
doing his job when he was
No,
here?
I'm not saying that, Scott.
What did you say?
I'm saying that there was a lot of work there.
It was.
And I'll put kudos on him.
Okay,
He worked his ass off on it.
okay. Well, I'm sure a
And-
lot of people were working there.
And him moving up does not leave that vacuum filled.
Well, he can hire one guy to fill his one spot.
Okay, so we're gonna be at 80, 90 grand again.
Well, then he is gonna be at 80 or 90 grand again. Should be within his budget.
Well,
All of this is technically within our budget. All of it is. That's
I
why,
get it.
that's why this move is.
I get it.
It's a slight reduction. Call it budget neutral, that's fine. It all fits within the budget. What was approved and what we carry forward. Even the two part-timers and the addition of that donation. It all fits.
You
I
don't
feel-
need, you don't need approval for you to reorganize your department, do you? But at a budget neutral,
I think
Situation?
technically, no. I'm certainly coming to this board for that support though.
okay.
Changing job description.
Like,
So the job descriptions need to be approved by the board.
those would need to be.
That's what's actually on your agenda today, right? That's the only action is the job description and the pay for the job description, right?
Right.
No. Well, sort of.
I would accept a motion of any kind.
I'd like to make a motion on the, job descriptions on the operations supervisor, the park officer, or wait. Community outreach, the operations supervisor, and the park ranger training coordinator increase, those three,
Increase for the job description. We
the
gotta be,
job description.
okay.
All of them except the park officer?
It's
that
three
right here?
positions.
Correct. Yes, the technician or whatever new. Yes,
No, the job descriptions are,
the 15, the 10, and the 5 is what,
The three in green on the org chart.
right,
Well, what's
okay,
on the
then I'm,
agenda?
got the operations supervisor.
the
and that's-
community outreach person,
On the agenda.
Yeah, on the agenda, the other one is, it says
That's all right.
park officer, comma, training coordinator. It should be park officer and training coordinator. That was a.
That was all one position.
That's.
Right.
That's.
Right.
Three job descriptions.
okay,
Three jobs.
those three, that's what I'd like to prove.
All right. So we have a motion by Shay. Is there a second?
Ryan, if you would, that- what are you calling this maintenance tech, Jeff?
Maintenance technician.
Yeah.
What are we calling it?
Is that the NRT?
No. Separate position.
That's off there, that's not my motion.
Where's the NRT? Oh, right here.
The NRT is not, promoted.
It's not funded. I'll second that for you, Brian.
Okay. That's those three positions. I think they're essential for help in our parks. And I think these three are excellent choices for moving up.
I think there's been a lot of thought that's gone into those positions and how we can retain those employees and motivate them to give them more responsibility. All right, so we have a motion by Shay and a second by Wickman. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Motion has carried. All right, and with the pay for the operations supervisor, park officer, and training coordinator, and community outreach manager.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'm doing three of those.
Well, it's one of the same, the training officer and the parks
It's the same.
officer, they're one and the same?
The comma between the park officer and training coordinator.
Oh,
Pretend it was a
typo.
dash instead of a comma.
Yeah, dash or
Slash.
slash, one of the two.
So, we have a motion by Shay.
Okay.
Was there a second?
Really?
Surely.
Shirley's not here. All right, we have a motion and a second by Wickman to approve the pay for those three positions. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Nay.
Motion is carried. All right.
Appreciate the conversation, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Oh, we took EO. Right.
All right, next, Kristen Bracker,
Thank you,
attorney, discussion and or decision to approve updated promotion policy number 1112 or 112. Policy committee met last Tuesday and it was a record meeting in that this policy came up with one edit, one change, and it was unanimously accepted within 3 minutes of conversation. Kristen, you've provided the edits in the packet along with the clean version of what the policy is for the promotion, with one sentence was deleted.
The only note I have is this is what we hope is the final policy we'll have to update in regards to the, for the pay increases where we had, in 2021, we changed that we don't get regular pay increases outside of the July increase. So this should be the last policy that we have outstanding with language that took out that sentence and we should be good to go.
Move.
Second.
Whitman, second by Belt. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried. Thank you, Kristen.
Thank you.
All right, updates from board committee appointments from last week. I just want to call out that I attended a couple of meetings. I've seen some email. It's very disappointing that the behavioral health RFP that Suzanne Watson and her staff worked on so hard was denied, that they've accepted a statewide solution instead of keeping it at the local level. The backup site that David Byer and his team orchestrated to relocate from downtown Omaha to the police department, that was a huge effort, and kudos to that department for making that transition. We also attended a UKG payroll timesheet efficiency meeting, and they're moving forward. They're a month ahead of schedule of what their rollout is. The sheriffs, the jails, the 911, our payroll. I think they've got a plan going forward. We need to provide assistance to payroll wherever necessary so that we can get them on board, but it's definitely moving forward.
Mhm.
Did you have anything else you wanted to add on that one, Brian?
No, you said it all. That was a good meeting.
What meeting was that? I'm sorry.
Payroll?
UKG and payroll, our sheriffs, the jails, secondary roads. I forgot Tina.
Want to write a letter back then?
I think she's still working on the RFP for the other portion.
Well, suggested that we send a letter, they gave us like, I think 30 days to send a letter back if we didn't like their, response, which is crazy. That like they did really want a response to
Right.
cover the holidays, but I still think it, put it in the record, but whatever she wants to do.
Said Susan, they went with a statewide solution, meaning
Yeah, what was the name of the outfit?
Policy, what was it?
Some way, somehow, we need to put in there
Some,
local controls better.
some other
It's,
agency's gonna manage it statewide.
like United or, yeah.
One of them, there was two of them that applied, one of them pulled out. They must have just gave it to the other one.
Primary Care Association.
Yeah, the other one did pull out. They were the only one left that was statewide, I think. I think
Yeah.
they were just gonna make it a easy, easy swing.
Did you go to the fire chief?
I did go to the fire chief's meeting last night.
How was that?
It was fine. I just explained that we weren't ready to make a commitment of that amount and that we would be engaging with them on solutions for all the other things going on as well.
Okay. Good.
All understood. And then East Pot Soil and Water also attended the fire chief's meeting last night and gave an update on the dry hydrant program that they're rolling out in the east side of the county. And there departments there were some from the west side of the county that are interested. So we might be getting a request from West Soil and Water, but
For what?
for dry hydrants.
They don't have very many.
There was a couple suggested sites that the Trainer Fire Department
Oh,
recommended.
okay.
So anyway, they all realize the importance of these devices and
Well, they're assuming there's gonna be water there too.
exactly.
That's a whole,
We
that's a
can't-
whole different discussion with what creeks look like now.
Okay,
Brian,
Hmm,
anything else?
No, I done those meetings and then we done conservation interviews. Done some other stuff, but go ahead.
I would like to take this time to thank Matt Wyatt. I got a phone call, a complaint from a resident of the county. The complaint involved his department. I called Matt about it. I reviewed the thing I received. That afternoon, I had a response from Matt's department. Swift, fast, and complete. And like I said, I can't give enough kudos at this point to Matt Wyatt's response to that. So thank you.
Good deal.
Tim? Scott?
Yeah, I went to, MAPPA's, council of officials and listened to the pretty interesting gentleman's, oh God, what's probably the highest military rank it can be, the guy that runs off it.
Brigadier General.
Yeah, I don't know, he had a lot of stuff hanging off his jacket. And then they had the guy from, the Omaha Chamber present too. I had a little bit of trouble finding the place, but I did. But they were really, Offutt's looking at trying to get like at least 2 more missions there. And they're really doing, outreaches to the community because of the amount of people they're gonna need to do. Mostly it's, IT work that they're gonna need a lot of people to do. And, the amount of private contractors that will be coming into our area to, I guess, supplement the IT stuff that they do down there. They didn't get real specific on what missions. That's what they call their,
Assignments.
growth that they're gonna go into. They're taking them from somebody else. And then, I went to the MAPPA board meeting the following day. Seems like there was one other thing, but.
Scott, where was that meeting at?
What's that? The
The one
council
you-
officials? It was down Bellevue at, it's a brand new, they got a brand new movie theater over there.
Oh,
It's
okay.
right by that, and there's a hotel convention center there.
I know what we're doing.
But, you guys would have all got invited to it, so. Council officials, they send us all that stuff for that.
I went last year.
Yeah, there was,
I went to dinner last year.
trainers mayor and, him were there and, well, there were some other people that were.
See the invite.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah, you guys all get it.
Yeah, I signed up.
Can't believe Jeanette didn't, it sat on the counter out here. I can't-
Oh, I thought you meant on email.
Yeah, you would have got an email too. Jeanette,
That's it.
Well, Dewey probably scrapped it for you.
who did?
Andrew Dewey.
Did anybody sign up for, speaking?
Nope.
Move to adjourn for you, Susan.
I'll second that, Tim. All right.
All right. And historic
I think I'm
meeting
gonna
is
take a nap
over.
right here.
So concludes.
Ladies, thanks for being